guys, and welcome back to my channel and today's video. So the other day I was wondering whatever happened to my anti-hauls, why don't I do them anymore? And then I realized that yeah, I do my will I buy it videos instead. So that kind of is a mix of products that I would like to buy and an anti-haul in one. So that's why I don't do them anymore. But I went through my old my old anti-haul videos, and I just realized that I did anti-haul some shit that I ended up purchasing. So I thought that I would show you guys these products that I did end up purchasing, even though I said that I wouldn't. But before we get into my purchases, I would love for you guys to subscribe to my channel. I upload videos every single day, so you get a lot of content from me. But let's just hop into the video. Spoiler, everything I have purchased is eyeshadow palettes. I have anti-hauled a lot of eyeshadow palettes, and I have purchased some. So I have a stack right here. I thought that I would go through them. I would say if I like them, if I don't like them, why I anti-hauled them in the first place, and then why I bought them. So let's just start with this big guy. This is the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill palette that I purchased last year. I don't really remember which month, but I do have a review video on it somewhere right here, I think. No, it's a first impression video. I was a little bit upset because I didn't get the names. So my boyfriend actually printed out this little piece of paper. It's not a little piece of paper, a big piece of paper for me, just so I can read all of the shade names, just because I think it's helpful if I'm doing tutorials, and if you watch YouTube tutorials, maybe you don't have a own channel, and I say, for instance, that I'm going to use the shade Jax, then it would be nice for you guys to know which shade I'm talking about. Anyway, I anti-hauled this. I don't really remember what I specifically said, but I think it was that it's a neutral palette with a pop effect, and also we have a lot of these repeat shades. I talk shit about neutrals a lot. I don't know why, because I do love neutrals, but I prefer my colors. But even I like neutrals and I use them. But the main reason why I didn't want to purchase this is because of all of the repeat shades, all of the neutrals. It is a large palette and I don't like these large palettes. And also because it was only available in the US, and Morphe has some ridiculous shipping, to be honest. Now they have like a UK site and a European site, so that's really nice. But for me, it just came down to that factor. And then Beauty Bay said that, you know what, we're gonna get the palette, and I was not gonna purchase it. I remember the day it launched and I was not going to purchase it, but I did go onto the website just to check, and it had been live for maybe an hour, and I was like, oh my god, yeah, it's already sold out. And then it started. I was like, why didn't I purchase this? I wanted this palette. Why didn't I purchase it? When I realized that it was already out of stock, that was when I wanted it. You know, when we have it right here, but oop, it's gone. And that was the time that I realized that I really wanted this palette. But the palette wasn't actually gone. It was just that the website had crashed, so they made like a waiting system. So I waited and I stood in line and I got my palette. So there's that. I don't regret it. I did talk about this in my Best of Beauty 2017 that I do really like this palette. I think that some of these shades have amazing quality, and I did also state that every time I'm using a colorful palette or something colorful and I only want to use some neutrals, I tended to go towards this palette, and I have used this quite a lot. I also have 3 looks with this palette that I can leave somewhere on the screen. But yes, I don't regret purchasing this. I am really happy that I have it, but I wish I would have waited a bit so I could get the new packaging, because I don't like the packaging of this. But either way, let's talk about the ColourPop and Kathleen Lights palette. This is the Dream St palette. I did another spin on an anti-haul, so it was products I'm trying to talk myself out of purchasing. So it was products that I maybe for some reason wanted, but I tried to talk myself out of it. I did mention this palette. If you didn't know, this is how it looks like. But the only reason why I really wanted this was because of this blue shade and then this blue shade. That was actually all of the the reason. I mean, I don't really need the other shades because I already have them, but I did a good job not ordering it. And then I remember that I went to their website to purchase something, and you know, it's not a lot of money. So I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna put this in my cart and be done with it, you know, just get it because it was so freaking affordable. And that's a lot of the times the way it is for me with ColourPop. They have such amazing price that it's like, you know what, it's not a lot of money, I'm gonna end up getting it. And this is like the only product that I do really wish that I maybe wouldn't have purchased. But it's just because I only wanted this blue shade and then this one. And also this blue shade isn't really its best. It kind of just lays wherever you put the brush, and then you have to blend and blend and blend and blend, and it takes a lot of time blending to make the shade even. I did also anti-haul the Saharan 2 palette by Juvias. It looks like this. I have also 3 looks, 1 palette with this one, or 3 tutorials with this palette, which I will leave somewhere on the screen. I think it's here. So the reason why I anti-haul this is just because of the color story. It just didn't speak to me. It was too many shimmers and not enough mattes. Juvia's does that a lot, that they do like repeat shades, and they do some very colorful shimmers but not enough colorful mattes in my opinion. I would love for them to do a colorful blue matte shade, and I have said that for the longest time. I hope that they will do that sometime. But I did talk about that I did purchase this just because Nicole Renee Cutler made me buy this. I have a video on that as well. I will not have enough space to put everything on the cards because you can only put 5 videos in the cards, but in that case I will leave them in my description box so you can check them out. I did see that Nicole did 3 looks with this palette, or 2 looks with this palette I think, and I was blown away. I was just like, you know what, I do really need it because this palette really surprised me. I mean, if you look at these, they are not really fun, but this one, by the way, has a big dents in it. But this shade is unlike anything I have. It's just a beautiful shade in my opinion, so I just had to purchase this. And I think that this is one of my all-time favorite Juvia's Place palettes, so I'm really happy that I purchased it. Another palette I anti-hauled was also from ColourPop, and it's their Yes Please palette. I don't remember why I anti-hauled it because, yeah, I don't know, but when I saw it, I was just like, you know what, no, I'm not gonna purchase it, and then I wanted to purchase it. So the thing that really made me want to purchase this is because I don't really remember what it was, but I just thought that I needed it. To be honest, I know that Nicole Renee Cutler used this in a few of her tutorials, so maybe it was that, because that was around the time when I was just obsessed with her. This is the way the palette looks, by the way, and it's just a warm, neutral palette, but with a pop of yellow. And for me, it's just like, you know what, no, I did not need this in my collection, but as I said, I do like some of my neutral palettes, and this is a neutral palette that I think is good. I do love this yellow shade. I did do a entire yellow tutorial that I will leave in my description box with this palette, and yeah, I do have to say that I do like this. I do like the formula. There's something about this palette that makes me just like the color story, and also it was so affordable. So I think that that is my reason. And also I am weak when it comes to eyeshadow palettes. And yes, I have a third ColourPop palette that I have anti-hauled, and it's the Elements of Surprise palette. To be honest, I was very surprised about this palette because I anti-hauled it just because I thought that, you know what, this is just a brown palette, you know, some neutral shades that I don't really need with a pop of pink. And I honestly thought that until I tried it on camera, and I was so surprised. I think I have said this before, but it's the packaging that kind of fools me. I think if the background would be white, I would see on the website that the shades was purple. But I didn't really notice that, so I actually started off with this, and I was like, oh, it has a purple hue to it. And then I used this shade and this shade, and I realized that this is a purple palette. But for me, the packaging is like, whoa, that was a weird, oh, I took the wrong finger. it's like a purple palette. So I didn't really notice that, and I don't know, I just didn't Google it before I purchased it. I just threw it in my carts because I wanted to get free shipping. I also want to get free shipping since I live in Sweden and I don't want to pay all of that shipping fee to my house. Then I could rather pay $50 and get it sent to me for free. But I really like this palette. This is probably my favorite ColourPop palette because I do love purples, I love berries, and I just think that this is great. And I do love like these two purple shades. I will probably use this in my next color for beginners if it's purple that wins. I will use this palette probably. And the last palette I anti-hauled was the Juvia's Place Douche palette. So I did have 1 Morphe, 3 ColourPop, and 2 Juvia's Place palettes. Anyway, the reason why I anti-hauled this was because of the fact that I thought that it was a little bit too basic for my liking. I thought that it was a little bit too neutral for my taste. So I didn't want to purchase it, and I was not going to purchase it, but I don't remember who it was, but I saw someone that did this beautiful pink soft look, and I was just mesmerized. I thought that that look was so cute, but for some reason I just thought that, you know what, no, I'm not gonna get it. And then the Festival palette by Juvias came in to Beauty Bay, which is this palette. Looks like this. This one came to Beauty Bay and this one came at the same time. So this palette, the Douche palette or the Douce palette, was very late. And I was more intrigued to get this. I bought these two at the same time, and I remember that I was more intrigued to play with this one because I just wanted to play and do some beautiful soft pink looks, and I still want to do some more. I have done one in my first series, Color for Beginners, where I used the shade pink, and I can leave it in the cards or in my description box. Or you can just search my channel if you want to. You can just search like Juvia's Place Douce palette, and every video that I have done with this or any palette will come up. But yeah, I am really happy that I purchased this. This shade and this shade is just not doing itself justice, especially this one in swatches. It's such a beautiful shade. It's like a duochrome shade or a holographic shade with white pink hue to it. I don't even think you can see, but it's just a beautiful palette. But yeah, that was all of the products that I had to talk about today. These were all of my products that I have anti-hauled but ended up purchasing anyway, and I think it's really funny that everything was eyeshadows. That's definitely my biggest soft spot. I have a hard time letting go of eyeshadows, and if I see someone do a very beautiful look with a palette, I want it. Even though I could probably dupe some palettes that I do have, like the Kathleen Lights palette with ColourPop, but still there's something about it that just makes me want to have it. But as I said, that was all of the palettes that I had to show you guys today. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye!